All right, welcome to the Survivor UNCW 3 Brains versus Bronze versus Beauty reunion show and finale. Congratulations, you guys. We got through it. After 95 days, 3 tribes, a tribe swap, multiple idols, multiple fake idols, backstabbing, and betrayal, it is time to reveal who won. Are you guys excited? All right. Well, we have 2 original Brain Tribe members. We started out with 18 contestants for the first time, the most in Survivor UNCW history. Also for the first time, the contestants were split into 3 tribes instead of 2. They were split into their attributes that get them through life the most. So, the Beauty Tribe, pretty, sexy, flirty, fun. The Brawn Tribe, strong, powerful, and the Brain Tribe, witty. We have 2 Brain Tribe members left. It's between Victor and Ben, Alliance members since the start. And I think it's time to get to the vote. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, Maddie. Make sure it's just on Ben and Victor, Maddie. All right. Well, I will read the votes. Remember, you want to see your name in this vote. The first person to get 4 votes wins Survivor UNCW Brains, Brawn, Beauty, and the prize along with the cash prize. Are you guys ready? All right, well, I will read the votes. First vote, Victor. Ben. Victor. 2 votes Victor, 1 vote Ben. Ben. That's 2 votes Ben, 2 votes Victor. Ben. 3 votes Ben, 2 votes Victor. And the winner of Survivor UNCW Brains, Brawn, Beauty, Ben. Well, after a long season, you masterminded the entire thing. How'd you do it?
A lot of late nights and drawing and writing and talking to people and then being anxious, and then it worked. So it was great. Yeah.
How does it feel to win?
Fantastic. A lot of hard work went into it. I was proud of the game going into it. I was a little worried that it's hard to communicate the game that you played in such a short time for Final Tribal. So I'm glad that y'all recognized it, and it feels great.
Victor, 2 votes.
I've been trying to go for Ben since week 5, and then he just kind of steamrolled all the competitions, and that made that borderline impossible. So I knew this was the likely outcome, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, Ben, you have the record for most immunity challenges won. How'd you do it?
I had to. I mean, when it really came down to it, I was determined to win, and 3 of the 4 wins that I had were back up against the wall. If I lose this, I lose the game, so I wasn't going to lose the game.
So I'm going to say something, and I don't mean to offend anyone. I just genuinely want to know. Ryland, you missed the Final 5 challenge. and that was Sarah, Christian, Victor, and Ben. We know that Victor was right behind him, but it seemed that Christian, Sarah, you two didn't necessarily put in 100% effort. The Final Four challenge, for the first time, I saw you two helping Victor try to win. I've never seen that before. And then the Final Three challenge was just a blowout. So, Sarah, do you think it was fair that Ben won, or do you think he kind of just won by default?
Well, obviously I can only speak for myself. So my thought process in the Final Five challenge when Rylan wasn't there, I knew that it was kind of maybe going to be him by default since he wasn't there. But I also knew that I had my idol left to play. And so I really, really considered it going into the challenge, whether I was going to really give it my all and try to win immunity. But inevitably, I just decided that at the end of the day, I wanted to play my idol for myself. So that was what it came down to for me. And then at the last challenge that I was at, I just knew that I didn't want to eat the bugs. Me and Christian were pretty much right behind Ben. Victor was really, really far behind. And so I went up to Victor right after I had filled my bucket and knew that I wasn't going to even attempt to eat the entire plate. If it had been one or two, I would have tried, not the entire plate. I knew that that wasn't going to happen for me. So I went up to Victor and I was like, Victor, are you going to try to eat the bugs? Like, be honest. Are you going to really try? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll help you fill your bucket. And that was my decision-making process.
Christian, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it was literally the same with her. I feel like, but for me, I definitely think that us three had a very strong alliance together. And we definitely got like stabbed in the back with, oh, it's gonna be final two, not final three. So it's like, but with that challenge that we had, I think that regardless of who won, like Ben winning or Victor winning, like I'd want at least one of them two to win. And I didn't want to see that as like, oh, I want Victor to win over Ben. It was either or for both of them. And I figured as well that like, I knew I wasn't gonna eat those bugs. I was already in a rough spot during that time as well. And yeah, and so I figured that I might as well help him out as well with carrying that lid out to the ocean and putting water in the lid. Like that's the first time I've ever done that before. And just kind of give him a chance to give a shot at the bugs.
Well, Ryland, I'm going to go to you, and then I'll check in with some of our previous members of the season. Do you regret going to visit your girlfriend? I think you had the win. If you stayed at the challenge, I think you could be sitting right there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I will say I do believe that I had the chance if I showed up to win that challenge, and not only that, but to take it further. I do think I had some people in the jury lean more towards my side, and I think it could have went that way. I don't regret the decision. I do still wanted to participate in life outside of Survivor, but I definitely think that my absence is the reason that I'm not up there.
I mean, I'll give it to you. It's hard. 95 days of playing Survivor is a lot, and you got to make time outside of it. I do have a question. Are you and your girlfriend still together?
We are still together.
Okay, so. All right. Well, moving on, let's check in with some of the season's most memorable contestants. First, Grayson. Grayson, you weren't the first person voted out, but you were the second.
Yeah, second's the best, right? First is the worst, second is the best, I think.
Well, if I could recall something, last time we were here, we were crowning Charlotte as the winner, and you asked Charlotte, I think it was a question about how she won, and she was talking to the future winner of Survivor UNCW 3.
You know, Nick, we just watched that episode last night, and I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
Well,
like, it's not ringing a bell.
I was wondering if you were going to eat your words, because you're sitting there and Ben's sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, from certain angles, that could have been his voice in the background. We really don't know. So,
Don't backtrack, Grayson.
oh my gosh. Can we, restart?
So
do you think it was harder for you than you expected?
Absolutely, yes. I had very high expectations coming into this game, and I'm not going to lie, because I had, 4 people that I knew coming into this game. Of course, we were all in different tribes, but, to me, that was oh, come merge time, I'm going to be amazing. But then it was, let's make it to the merge. That just didn't process, in my head. So, I was so focused on working on other tribes, I mean, poor Maggie. I mean, I'm very responsible for her going home. So
I wish she was here. I mean, I would have asked her about
I
you.
wish she was too, because I
you
needed
threw her
to.
under
I
the
want to
bus.
apologize. Like, I feel horrible, but yeah, no. I should have spent more time working with my awesome tribe mates, not with Brains and the other tribes.
Well, speaking of apologies,
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna be honest. Last season was pretty brutal, and a lot of feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the only person with hurt feelings this season was you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to own up to it. I'm gonna give you the opportunity.
I'll own up to it, 100%. I was, I coming in with as high expectations as I had, and then absolutely just getting hit by like a train with like 15 buses on it. Like, it definitely put me in a like really emotionally, what's the word?
Turmoil?
Yeah, whatever they said. Turmoil. Sure. Yeah, I was just all over the place with my emotions, and I did not handle that in the best way. Bless Sarah's heart. I really do think she's an amazing person, and she's one of the coolest people I've had the chance to meet out here. So I feel really bad about that. But hopefully, I hope we're in a better spot now. And obviously, I do have remorse for a lot of the words I said. But we move on and we learn. So thanks, Sarah.
Have you moved on, Sarah?
Yeah, it's fine. I would have been mad too because I lied straight to his face for the entire time we ate lunch together. I
Yeah.
did feel really bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Yasmin. Yasmin, we didn't get to see much of you this season, but we did see a lot of you at Tribal Council.
Right.
So when you were exiting, you and Emma had a little rift. She was your alliance member, and then she flipped on you and Ryland. How are you guys now?
Oh my God. We don't talk.
Do you think you could ever be friends moving forward, or is it done?
I'll consider it.
Emma, any clap back to her right now?
I mean, I've apologized multiple times. The only reason I voted her out is because I was stuck in a spot 2 and 2, and I was the flipping vote, and I knew that. And I found her as a threat. It was just me and her left as the girls on the tribe, and I knew if she would come with, like, to the merge, I kind of had a feeling she would flip on me, just from the vibes I was getting.
I wasn't gonna flip. I was gonna take you with me to the end, but.
Okay, I didn't know that, so I wasn't planning on taking her all the way, but
Right.
it is what it is.
I had a feeling she was gonna flip on me. I just didn't go with the gut feeling, seeing as I didn't open my arms to you in my own room, and we did talk. There was a little bit of cuddling, friend to friend.
That's not true.
And then she goes and she, is lying to my face in my bed. My feelings were so hurt, Emma. And I don't know, yeah. I had a feeling, especially at Tribal, that she was gonna flip, and I said to Ryland, I was like, oh, this isn't good. I should have talked to Ryland or to Davis about it, but it's fine. I put my trust in your hands, and you destroyed it.
Well, you got her with the blanket on the way
Yeah,
out, so
I left
maybe
with
karma's a
whiplash,
bitch.
So you're good.
So it's fine.
It's all even.
Well, Ryland, after Yasmin was voted out, you were left on your own on the Braun tribe. So what were you gonna do, like, after she left?
I was also kind of in a hard spot. I had been missing some challenges, which also was putting a target on my back. I know a lot of my teammates, they wanted to get me out multiple times, and votes just didn't end up going that way. And then from there, I started talking to Davis more, Christian a little bit, but definitely Davis more, and we started talking more just about the merge and about future plans, and so I knew I trusted him, and I knew we could see each other going further. I think that definitely helped out the most, and that was my next plan, was to get closer with some of these guys.
Got it. Well, the next week, poor Lana Lamb, you were executed. Mikey backstabbed you.
Yeah, I know. No, him and Sarah, right? I think
Yeah,
both of them.
I think, and
Literally,
Jackson.
okay, if the video made it in where we were like saying that we would be the top 3, you should like go to that right now. I wasn't even the one filming. I didn't bring it up. They thought of it first, and I was like, you know what? Sure. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, that sounds nice. Like, you chose me, not even the other way around. I was like, all right, this works. And then no, no, that didn't last very long.
It and Mikey.
Rock, paper,
decided?
scissors. Wow, I'm worth that much. That feels amazing.
Both of you were worth so much that we couldn't decide.
Both of us? Are you talking
I don't
about
know
me
if you can
versus
say this one,
Jackson?
Sarah.
Who's not here.
Well,
I think that they thought I was weak. I think that's really what it came down to. He wanted Jackson who had more strength. But
do you?
whatever.
So it was you and Jackson, and then Sarah, Mac, Lana. Do you think you were the weakest link on the beauty tribe?
Mac was nice to me. Woo! That's convenient that I was the one holding the microphone with it off. I thought I turned it off, but I didn't. So
You're
what
good,
was the
bro.
question?
I was just asking if you thought you were the weakest link. And
Oh, well, I mean, well, I think that. I mean, I think clearly not the weakest. But I think I could have been a stronger player. I think I could have if I had been given the chance to go further. And I just wasn't. I think I would have done really good with like puzzle type stuff, and yeah, I think I could have been a stronger link. But as it was, I was a pretty weak link.
so when you were leaving, before you read the votes, and we knew you were going home, you told everyone you guys were going to go line dancing. Did that happen?
No. I do. I go every Tuesday. I've gotten texts from Mikey being like, "I'm coming finally. I'm coming. No, this time I'm serious. No, this time I am coming."
I mean, can you really
But have
trust
I
him after
seen
what he
him?
just did to you? I
No.
don't think we can. All right. Well, Katie, you weren't the next one voted off, but Jackson's not here, so let's get to you. You were one of the most interesting players, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You were kind of in your own world.
Yeah.
Did you have a strategy?
You know, not really. I was kind of just hoping for the best.
So you and Maggie came into it knowing each other.
Yes.
And Maggie was immediately voted off, correct?
Yes.
When that happened, were you thinking like, oh shit, this might be me? Or were you just like, oh well?
Like, what are you at? Like, if I thought that I was
Like-
gonna get voted out because she got voted out?
Yeah, did you think you were in trouble?
Yeah, a little bit. Because I knew that we, like, obviously we were friends, and I didn't know if, like, they'd come for me after Maggie. But then I kind of, like, thought I had some alliances and stuff, so I was okay for a few weeks.
I guess, did you realize that Ben was kind of running the show on the Brain Tribe from the very beginning, or?
I was a little surprised because he wasn't at the first challenge, and then he kind of just showed up and was, like, really good at the game, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. I didn't, like, because we kind of like, who is this Ben guy? Like, and then he shows up, and we're all like, oh, shoot. So.
He got you.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Well, one of the most stylish contestants we've ever had on the show.
Listen, let's get a little fit check here. Let's get a little fit check.
Okay.
A little spin. What?
I was kidding.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
right
dropped
there.
something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right there. Thank
Oh,
you.
I dropped something? Anyways. Anyways, I'll sit back down now.
All right, well, Crawford, my favorite Crawford moment was actually when you were voted off. You were wearing
yeah.
a cow costume.
Oh, yeah.
Did
yeah.
it stay on for the rest of the night, or was that just a...
Listen, it stayed on, it came off, you know. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Thursday night.
I know. You tell me what's actually happening. So I want a little gossip from you.
Oh, you want the gossip?
I want the gossip. So
He wants the gossip.
I was watching some of the interviews back, and I found out that 2 of the contestants had previously hooked up. Do you want to spill?
Listen. Y'all already know. Me and Mikey shared a wonderful evening. Wonderful evening back in October. At least I thought it was wonderful. I don't know how he feels about it.
No comment. No comment.
Crawford, I think the quote that was my absolute favorite was, was after the ball challenge.
Yeah.
When we had to bob for literal balls.
I remember.
Yeah, Mikey, you didn't even touch it, but I
gagged,
heard you
yeah.
didn't have a problem touching Crawford's balls.
Yeah, really nothing to say, but no comment.
Crawford, do you think there's any chance between you and Mikey after tonight?
No. Listen,
People
listen.
get drunk. People make mistakes.
Oh! Listen,
Are you a mistake?
listen. I don't know. Listen, I was drunk too, so like, maybe he was a mistake for me too, If he's saying I was a mistake for him, maybe I was a mistake for him for I did. It was wonderful.
Okay. Well,
all I wanted
back
to be
you as a
said that
character.
there should be no comment about said situation. I don't know. Personal lives at home. No, I'm
Listen, it was too juicy not to spill.
It was a main part of the week.
It was too juicy to not mention,
As juicy as the balls.
Oh yeah.
Well, back to week 1. You were angry.
Oh yeah.
You were angry that you were on the Brain Tribe.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm really sexy. I could have been on beauty. I felt like in the first challenge, physically, I was above everybody else. In the physically, I just felt like, with the carrying, the things. I know.
Right.
He wanted to be on beauty.
I wanted to be on beauty because,
But you're super smart, Crawford.
I know, but
What's your major again?
I'm a pre-med.
See, and is anybody else even in the medical field here? Yeah, no. Well, okay, Emma. But
Yeah, Emma, you're killing it. Love that.
well, thank you, Crawford. It was
Wait,
great.
I have more to say.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have something to say to Katie. Katie, week 1, literally, it was like a coin flip between you and Maggie. I just want to
He's
just
clearing the
saying.
air.
I'm clearing the air. Bren, you have something to say?
Like, yeah, but at the same time, Grayson told me he saw Maggie looking for the idol by herself, so then that put a target on Maggie's
is
back.
true.
For me.
I remember
Like
that.
me personally.
I remember that
I
well.
will say also that Grayson was the one that ratted my idol out too. So
He got a tattoo.
Spicy.
I think mainly Grayson is just the issue with the idols. So.
No, so here's what happens. I was so excited to play the game that when I find out information, I just can't keep it to myself. I have to tell somebody.
Oh.
But it's like,
And that's why you're sitting there.
Yeah.
Grayson.
all right.
Well, one of the people that you ratted out was your good friend Emma. You and Emma were on the crew last year. You had big expectations. You came in hot. You found idols. You made moves. You backstabbed.
Yes.
How was it? How was the overall experience? Was it what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. I had a lot of experience with the crew, and I grew up watching the show, which really helped. I think it brought my knowledge to another level compared to a lot of people who haven't seen the show. And when I was playing, I loved it. I definitely made decisions that I will really regret. I think I would be sitting somewhere completely different if I made different moves. But yeah.
What would you have done differently?
Played my idol, Nick. Yeah. We were swapped onto different tribes, and Christian and I were put on the bottom with the 3 beauty tribe. And I knew after we lost that challenge, there was a really good chance it was Christian all right. And when I was looking at the 3 beauty tribe about who I could flip, I bet on Mackenzie. I just didn't think I could flip Sarah or Mikey. They were really close from what I had heard. And I probably spent a combination of 4 or 5 hours with Mackenzie that week, just talking, and she really convinced me. And so I went into tribal just on trust. I had to, and I wanted to keep my idol till the merge to have it for my alliance, Davis and Christian. And she's an amazing player because she fooled me, and I went home with an idol in my pocket. So.
Well, let's recap what the situation was. So at this point in the game, we had never had a tribe swap. Lana, if you could mute that, that'd be great. So no one was expecting a swap. They were all expecting the merge. Am I right? Yeah. And
I was expecting the swap, but just from my knowledge of the game from season 28, I was like, it's gonna happen. but I didn't know when it was gonna happen.
So we had, what, 4 Brawn Tribe members, and then 3 Beauty, 3 Brain. And basically what happened was the 4 Brawn Tribe just went on to the 2 teams. And it was completely random, but you really got screwed over.
Yeah, I did. It was frustrating because it was weird. We were literally the top 4 people. We felt good. I was excited with who was left on the tribe. I really vouched to keep Ryland. I was working with Christian and Davis. I had a good thing going, and then the swap happened, and I immediately knew it was either that week or the next one, and yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because Christian also thought it would be him the next week, and he made it to the top 3.
Yes, he actually found the idol that I didn't play, so good for him.
Yeah, let's talk about that idol before we get to Mikey. So when we went to look for the idol, it was Davis, Victor, Christian, and myself, and I was filming. I was just tagging along. And they were looking for, I want to say, 3 hours-ish.
It was after that extremely physical challenge we had. So along with the 3 hours, it was just a drag of going around. Well, first it was around that clock tower that's right near Fisher, or that pond area.
Complete wrong direction, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't even know where it was until I found out that Davis found it. But
well, so Davis actually found the clue, I want to say 2 hours in, and he let you guys look for a while after. And I just was like, Davis, I'm leaving. We're walking around for nothing right now. Davis, what originally led you to give Christian that idol and keep him in the game?
Yeah, so personally, I think he was the first person that I met at the beach the first day, and that was before we even knew tribes. But walked up to him, I was like, all right, yeah, we're probably both Brawn. I felt like that's pretty easy to figure out. So just started talking to him, and then I don't know, from there just talked to him about kind of everything. We got closer. Him and I worked with the first few weeks, and we just kept on going. And then once we did, I guess, tribe swap, we kind of knew merge was coming soon, and I think I kept the clue to myself one night to try to decide, is this someone that I want to keep in the game, or is it not? Because if I didn't give him the idol, he was obviously, he was going home that week, and I just kind of thought about it and was like, yeah, this is someone who I want to keep with the game. So gave him that, and I thought with that action there was some sort of trust or bond formed. I guess I was wrong, but tried that.
Well, we can recap that in a moment, but I'd like to get to Mikey's gameplay for just a minute before we get to that. Okay. You tried to make many fake idols.
I know, that was so fun though. I really liked that.
Was that your favorite part of the?
No, it was so much fun. It truly was. And I really wish I got to trick Grayson with it, because me and Sarah talked about it for so long, and I thought it was gonna be so funny. But then Grayson ended up finding out what the idol actually looked like, so I was like, fuck, now I can't even trick him with it.
Yeah.
So there was no point, and sadly that idol is somewhere in my room somewhere. So
I would have loved to see it. I would have loved to see it get played. One of the things I wanted to talk about with you was the challenge that you got voted out on.
what challenge?
It was the kicking and screaming. We were on the polls.
Oh, that one. Yeah, there's a lot of.
You acted like I committed murder making you guys do that.
Murder. Sending our team against that team was murder, and you knew that for a fact.
But you had Christian.
Oh my gosh, and Christian threw that damn challenge. So it was nothing. It was nothing.
That wasn't the first challenge you thought Christian threw either.
Oh, no, that was not Christian. That was definitely not.
Were
I
you
know you
throwing
could run
challenges?
faster than that, Christian. No, wait, that was
Which one
not
we
that
talking?
challenge.
So
Wait, yeah, that was.
The
Mikey
running one?
thought you threw the track challenge, and he also thought you threw the pole challenge.
Okay, well the one, I guess a recap for that challenge was you made us hold 25-pound bags, and because Sarah wasn't there that week as well, or that challenge, I was tasked to hold 50 pounds, and then I'm like a heavier guy as well, so
You're like the Hulk.
You
got it.
So imagine trying to run around a track like 280 pounds. Like, we only got around twice, and after that first one, I'm breathing very heavy. So I did not throw that challenge. I genuinely tried. But if we come to that next challenge, though, I will say I tried my hardest, trying to hold myself against my previous teammates, Rylan and Davis, which was probably like, if I'm imagining like some sort of like life or death situation, that felt like it. Like I'm literally holding on to the pole with just my foot. Like trying to use all my strength, and then after that, like first round, like I'm already gassed, and so then I'm like simulating in my head like any outcome where we would win that, and I will say I threw that challenge because it wasn't worth the energy, I would say, or another person throwing up, which probably would have been me.
Well, Mikey,
was Mikey.
You literally rolled over into the recovery position
after Davis,
and were spitting up. I was like, oh my God, should we call like medical?
No, after Davis, okay, me versus Davis pulling me off that pole was unfair, okay? I am saying that now, okay? When he pulled, at a certain point, I just let go and went along with it. Take me, yes.
I don't think you let go of the pole. I think you grabbed on the brim.
Oh, yeah, no,
during
I
that
jumped.
challenge.
You
Yeah.
pulled me down with you, so then Davis
I
was
was not
dragging
giving
both
up. I
of
was
us.
not giving up. After trying to get Victor off that pole, that sucked. I was already exhausted, and he grabbed onto Sarah, so I was like, okay, smart idea. Let me do that to Bryn. And you know what? It didn't help anyway. So I'm sorry about that, but
Yep. Almost yacked on my feet. Yeah.
It's cool. Almost.
Well, back at that time, you guys were still on the Beauty plus Emma and Christian tribe. Mackenzie, you could have changed the whole game. You almost did, eventually.
Yeah.
What ultimately decided that you took out Emma and saved Sarah and Mikey?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I was serious about voting Mikey. Like
I believed you.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna vote you.
You know,
I was.
You tried multiple times to get Mikey out too
That's why I
before
believed
that
her.
time.
I believe because
If we
I
wanna-
had heard like you
Wow.
were trying to vote him out like week after week.
Well, I did try the previous week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm listening.
Okay. Well, I brought it up, but I wasn't like, oh, like, you know, we have to. I brought
That's
it.
just an option,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I just brought it up.
Mm.
We were just losing, and we were trying to like.
I hope you know that you were like. I feel like we were like out of everyone, me and Sarah kind of brought up your name the least.
You did. Yeah. No, I agree.
I would definitely.
Yeah.
say
Well, also, Mackenzie actually was an alternate. So she
Yeah.
had a girl, Sadie, was on the Beauty tribe, and she quit after the first challenge. So I was like,
she wasn't even there.
yeah, she didn't come. So then I was like, wait, we got to have 18 people. I'm not having another Blackbeard's bounty situation on our hands. So I called up Chris, Mackenzie's boyfriend. Then I called up Mackenzie, and I was like, Mackenzie, please do it. You're so pretty. Like, you'd be great on the show. And you ultimately did it. Do you think it was a setback coming in a week late, or you made it the second farthest out of your tribe? So did it even matter?
I mean, I definitely thought at first that it was a setback, and then, like, I was nervous every tribal until, like, I was the flip vote, and I knew that I was. And then I actually, every day, I'm like, oh, if I had kept Emma, like, what would have happened? But you had the idol, and then
it's
but
fair.
also, like, I didn't really know you.
That's fair.
But I felt like I was at the very bottom at first, but then they like made me feel more secure. So.
Well, that's why I went to her initially, because I was looking at the three of them, and I was like, them two are really tight. That's the one I could pull, and I almost did. But
Was there something that ultimately impacted your decision, or did you just stick with what you knew?
I felt like Mikey would keep me in longer if I kept him.
Which
you know.
I wanted to work with you.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks to say, but I would have. Like, if I would have made it past that vote, I would have wanted to work with you.
Yeah, I bet like because you were very strong like in challenges, like watched you and
Horrified me.
yeah, and like so I wanted to work with you, but then ultimately like for my game I thought Mikey would keep me in longer.
Got it. Well, you made the merge. Overall, how was this experience for you?
It was so much fun. It was really good getting to know everybody. I kind of didn't like coming in late, but I don't think I missed that much. But I'm really glad I did it, and I feel like it was a good experience, yeah.
Good, I'm glad. Well, let's get back to Davis. Davis, I see you're sporting a bloody tie. Is that a message?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, it was a very fun game, but it was a very hard game because I received a vote from the entire front row. That 7. So yeah, from half the people here, I got a vote cast against. I gave an idol to Christian. Back in I think it was the second voting for Braun, Christian was pushing hard to vote out over there on the corner, Rylan, and I was like, nah, come on now, keep him in. Afterwards, talked, I was like, all right, we're good. And then I think the week before I got voted out, there was a certain scheme with Rylan, Victor, and the girls that didn't ever come to fruition, as well as Sarah. The week that we voted out Mac, I actually talked to Bryn before, and we decided to go 5 Mac for you, keep you in the game. But also, I didn't follow up with you that week, so that's on me. But
Just told me to shut up, and that was it.
yeah, sorry. There's Victor. Victor was close by, and wasn't sure if he was snooping, and then I didn't follow up, so that's on. Yeah, exactly.
I was inching closer and closer and closer to you guys. I was like, oh, hey, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, no, it was a fun game. But I think I got a lot of votes and big target. But yeah.
Well, you were a huge target, and obviously you're a physical threat. Everyone loves you. But what the hell? You jumped off the cinder block for a slushie from Jimmy's and pizza.
Yeah.
You were the first one to jump off.
Yeah. So honestly, I completely stand by that decision. No, not for the game. For the game, it was like outside the game, personal life stuff. I was a rough go, and gonna be honest, that beach day afterwards was worth getting voted off. So.
Okay, well, fair.
Yeah.
Well, you got to thank the girl sitting next to you, Bryn, because she saved your ass more than you realize. On the Mac vote, Bryn had secured an extra vote during the tribe swap. She found it in the pizza reward that the Braun tribe plus the two of you won. At the merge vote, there was originally a plan that I want to say Mackenzie, Ryland, Sarah, and Victor were going to vote you off. And you had no idea. Bryn, what made you play that for Davis?
Honestly, I know, Victor, you talked about body language when the three of us met up that week, and I don't know, you thought we were super tight number ones. At that point, we were not, but whatever. I was getting closer with Davis, and I did want to keep him around longer because I wanted to just get Beauty out. That was just the plan. I don't know. I also, I did meet up with Mackenzie that week, and nothing really followed up from that, so I felt like a weird vibe. So I was like, I would rather go with Davis than, keeping Mackenzie and Sarah around, because then that also, I don't know, that makes, the Beauty Tribe weaker with leaving only Sarah left.
Well, it's interesting to me because I think everyone in the front hadn't clocked Ben's game yet, but you had. You had realized that Ben was the mastermind, and you were going to flip on him. Ultimately, when Davis got voted out and it was announced that it was a double elimination, Rylan, clutch win. I don't know how you did that. I was not expecting that. You kind of just sat back and were like, oh, I guess it's me. Why didn't you fight and push Ben's name? Because he was vulnerable.
I mean, at that point, from week one, once I met Ben and aligned with him, I knew, he was a great player, and I knew, the target he had. I feel like I was the only one who realized that. But, so I feel like the entire game, I always had it in my brain, that I needed to flip on him at some point. And I feel like that week was the week to do it. Me and Davis talked about it, then we approached Ryland about it. and then we approached Christian about it. I guess that was a mistake, but I mean, after that, I felt like there was nothing really I could have done because I don't know, like, they still hadn't seen him as a threat. And, I mean, I knew he was going to win out, which is exactly what he did. But that's Christian's mistake, I guess.
Oh, and so the week before when we did vote up Mac, we actually talked right before tribal, and I think the signal to play the vote was a tap on the leg. And right before we went, honestly, not even sure if the camera did see it, but just a slight tap, and she played us out. Well, wasn't quite clueless that week. We were gonna just decide at tribal how we felt, and afterwards we were like, nah, that's just not right. So.
Well, Sarah, it's interesting because they split the vote between you and Mac that week. You had an immunity idol, and if they voted one more on you, you would have been out.
Yeah.
Why didn't you play the idol?
Honestly, me and Mac were so close at that point, and we knew that we were both on the bottom, and I know it might sound silly, but I was like, at the end of the day, I want to give her a fighting shot. If I play my idol, it's automatically her. If I don't play my idol, it's up to them to decide who's going home. I knew very well it could have been me, but at the end of the day, I don't regret it because I think if I had been sitting there, that would have been an automatic vote from Mac, so.
Did you and Mac become genuinely good friends from this experience?
Yeah, I think so.
I get that vibe that you two, and Mikey, you included. I think the three of you really clicked on your tribe, and I think it's nice that you're not fighting. It's good. Well, Bryn, you saw all the drama last season, and I want to know, did this season live up to your expectations?
I mean, playing it was definitely a lot harder than I expected. Like, I knew it was a big commitment, and it honestly really took over my life. Like, I was having nightmares about it. Like, but overall it was very fun. And I mean, I feel like I liked this group a lot. Like, I feel like with last season, it was very personal, like, tiffs.
Yeah.
Where, like, here I feel like everyone outside of the game, like, I don't have a single problem with anybody. And
oh, that's good. That's good.
Nothing's personal.
It isn't. It really isn't. It's a game.
Yeah.
Speaking of the game, Ryland, you coming into this were my favorite contestant. And let me tell you why. Ryland made an audition video. I wish we could play it. I wish I was connected. I was like, who is this kid? We need to get him on. It was great. What made you want to do this?
So the first semester took a lot more money out of my pockets than expected. So as I'm leaving Pelican Hall, I see a flyer and it says cash prize on it. And so I knew I wanted to indulge in something that I could be making some sort of money. Previous to that, I have watched a couple, maybe, episodes of Survivor. I've barely touched on it. I know I've communicated a lot to people that I don't know, like how reunions and things like this work. So I didn't know much about it, but I have seen enough where it seems fun. I like challenging, like things you have to win, and I like the challenge about it. And so that and the cash prize was the reason I joined.
Ultimately, your experience was fun to watch. What do you think were some of your favorite moments from this season?
I definitely think things really started to get interesting as me and Davis joined teams with the Brains tribe as well. We went on a 2-win streak, and then before that we had been winning a lot, and I saw a lot of potential out of me and Davis. And then, come to track challenge is me, Davis, and Ben running around, and I saw a lot of potential in all three of us, but I also saw a lot of competition with that. That is kind of when I started to play some different roles, and I knew that I respected the crap out of them too, but I knew they were going to definitely, they can beat me in these challenges. And so after that, I got really close to Davis and still am, but I did have to pull some strings, so that could be the possible next vote, make it a little easier as I go into the merge.
One of my favorite moments from the season was the endurance challenge. You stood on a cinder block in the sun at the beach for what, 6 hours, 8 hours?
6 hours.
Six. You yourself were saying, why am I doing this?
Yeah, but I think I headed into it. I had no idea. I thought we were going to be doing some running challenges. I honestly don't like running. And so when I heard it was just standing, at first it felt like a lot easier. I was like, okay, this would be fun to participate in. As time went on, I realized that I could be doing a lot more beneficial things to my life than just standing on a block. But I kept convincing myself that, the next hour would be a better incentive, or the next hour we'll go to 1 foot, or the next hour we'll do this. And so I think with that, I kept pushing a little bit further, knowing that I can get 30 more minutes of standing there around. And kind of things just worked out. Ben drops out. That was a big factor. Then after that, got around to the 6 hour, and I was completely ready to step off. And Bryn is finally commits to doing the 1 foot, and then she drops, and it was down to me and Christian. I was kind of in Christian's ear telling him to drop because he did have an idol, and so it ended up working out in my favor.
Well, it's funny you bring up that Bryn did 1 foot because Ben wanted to go for 1 foot for what, 2 hours? And then you finally jumped off because I think your girlfriend would have broke up with you if you didn't jump off the block. And then immediately once you left, Bryn, you decided it was okay to go to 1 foot, but then you didn't take a shot at him. What were you doing?
Well, that week I did take a shot at him.
Well, yeah, but
And it just didn't work out in my favor.
I guess.
Yeah.
But then the double elimination, you didn't think, oh, he's still immune, I got him this week.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, with that cinder block challenge, everyone was pushing to go to 1 foot. I mean, Sarah started asking for that at like 45 minutes. But like,
That's true.
we were, and I was like, that's not the point of this. But once it was getting longer, it was starting to be more appealing. But I was like, I just want to be longer. Like, I feel like we hadn't like done it enough. And then Christian and Ryland were like respecting my decision, and Ben just kept pushing and pushing, and honestly, like, consent is key. So at that point, I was getting annoyed, and I just wasn't going to do it for Ben. So then maybe that's petty of me, but
Did that set off some alarms, Ben?
Yes. No, as soon as I could tell she was getting frustrated, I was like, okay, this isn't worth it. Because I didn't really want to win that challenge. I had won the challenge before that, and kind of like you had said before, I felt like most people hadn't clocked me as a major threat, and I want to keep it that way. It wasn't that hard to stand on the block. I was trying to accelerate things so that we could all go home. And I also, I didn't want to win. I just wanted to accelerate things. But I mean, you called my bluff. It was in your best interest not to go to 1 foot. I don't blame you one bit. But yeah, that's why I pushed. And then as soon as I could see you getting frustrated, I was like, this is not worth the relationship. Let her have it. Like, that's totally fine.
Well, Ryland, after that challenge, we had the double elimination challenge. You surprised me. Are you like a puzzle wizard? Did you know like how to do that? Or did you just kind of slide it into place?
Well, I'd seen it on the Instagram story before, and I'd actually thought that it kind of looked pretty simple. And so as I looked at it, I was like, all right, this can't be that hard. And I think after I just started moving some pieces around, it started to like picture in my head how this kind of works out. And honestly, I surprised myself. I didn't think I would be able to pull that off. I think, my bets were on Victor or Ben to walk away with the puzzle challenge. But after that, I had realized that, I can definitely be in this. And I was in a what I thought was a perfect spot. I had people willing to vote out Davis, which ended up being the possibility. But then I also had a couple of us, which was Davis and Bryn, who wanted to go with Ben. And so my name hadn't been in the mix yet, and it was between two of the big competitors, and I felt like I was in a sweet spot. It didn't pan out like that, but I think winning those two challenges pushed me forward, but then it also, drew some attention to me.
I think you really could have won. I really do think you could have won if you went to that challenge. I think you would have given Ben a run for his money.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But I think you had better jury management than Ben did at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I feel like a lot of people on the jury liked Ryland.
Which is why you had to go. That was the problem.
That's fair. I saw that happening.
Yeah.
Now on to Sarah. Sarah, you were the last woman remaining. First time we've had a male winner. You were also the last Beauty Tribe member remaining. Yeah. Do you want to say anything to women about like empowerment? I mean, you're kind of the only hope right now here.
girl power, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really see it as a gender thing. I don't think anybody here saw it as a gender thing. If they did, it was very deep in their subconscious, but I think it was really just looking at the biggest threats.
Well, you're the only person on the cast who's been with us since day one of Survivor UNCW. How was it finally competing this season?
It was so fun. It was something that I genuinely never thought I would do, and then you called me like 2 days before the season started and said, I need you to do this, and I said, can I have a minute to think about it? And you said, no, tell me right now.
I knew you'd back out.
And I said, okay, sure, I'm in. And I went home and I was like talking to my roommates. I was like, what did I just do? What did I just do, guys? But yeah, I think being a host on the first season and then kind of being around season 2, I think it definitely gave me an eye into, you know, what goes on and how to kind of play the game.
Yeah. I was gonna say, at the Final Four, you and Christian kind of just gave up at the challenge. If you were sitting in that final 2, I know you would have won. Do you regret not eating the bugs?
I mean, like, yeah, in a way, but also I just, like, I don't do throw up. I can't do throw up. I can't see throw up in a movie. Like, it's like my biggest no thing. So when I looked up and I saw Ben already gagging, I was like, I don't even think I can go up into that general vicinity. Even in season 1, when we had the Final Four challenge, I was like running away like this when Lucas was gagging, and like I was like, I just know that I'm not even gonna be able to handle it. So I don't know, if it had been maybe 1 or 2 bugs, like I said, or even 1 or 2 of something gross, I would have at least attempted, but a whole plate, I was like, there's absolutely no way that's gonna happen.
And I wanna go to this. At a Final Four, if it's a tie, if it's 2-2, we do a fire challenge. Did you ever think about approaching Christian about maybe voting out Victor that week?
Yeah, that week was very interesting. I kind of talked to all 3 of them about all the different possibilities that there were. I kind of knew that they knew that like you said, if I was sitting there, I think I would have had the most jury votes since Rylan was gone. I think I was kind of next in line. So I kind of think that everybody kind of knew it, and even when I called Victor that week, I was like, is there any way that you would not vote for me? And he was kind of like, no. And I was like, okay, awesome, thanks for letting me know. I did prepare as in watch videos and kind of, you know, fire making, but I was like, I really don't think that's gonna happen for me.
Last question I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna move on. Do you think, starting on the Beauty Tribe with Mikey and Mackenzie, you guys kind of got a bad rap? What do you think that was from? And do you want to kind of clear the air with some of these people that...
I mean, I don't think that's on me. I think that's on Mikey. Because I think...
Sorry, Bren. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mikey was kind of the one who was
I
saying
started
a lot
that
of
fire,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, which I'm not saying, you know, that's his game to play, but I think...
I was upset that you guys were winning.
Yeah, Mikey came up to me in the middle of dubs and just came up to me, said straight to my face, I hate the Brains tribe. I hate all of you guys. And I was like, oh, I don't know you.
That was my I do not think at the time I knew that you were on the Brain Tribe because I actually didn't get a good look at you guys. And then I think that was my downfall.
Yeah, that did leave a bad taste.
You know, but love Brain. Y'all just were better than us.
I also think the fact that I had the Brain Idol, if that would have gotten out.
That was so funny.
Let's talk about that. So in the very beginning, I would have talked about it with Maggie. So Sarah had the clue to the Beauty Idol tribe. I don't know if Nate's here, but he's the game master. Nate hid the idols right next to each other. Directly next to each other. So Sarah grabs the Brain Idol, goes home, opens it up, and she calls me and is like, why is it green? And I was like, I have no idea why it's green. And so then I call Nate, I'm like, hey, Sarah found this idol right here. Is this wrong? And he's like, no, that's where it was supposed to be. Isn't she on Beauty though? Like, we have to take it back. And I was like, so Sarah, you found it without a clue. In season 2, Nate also found an idol without a clue. So technically we let Sarah keep both idols. But that was Maggie's demise. You took her out single-handedly.
I had no idea. I mean, I was following the clues for the Beauty Idol, which I lied to my entire tribe about it. Me and Mikey searched for the non-existent clues for about an hour.
You told me, I want to say 15
Stop letting Nate make
everyone
clues,
was like,
okay?
it's gone, it's disappeared, it dissolved in the rain. And they actually, the string was still there. I had like left the string when accidentally, because there was like 2 strings on it, and they found the string but not the clue. But then they were like, I guess the rain just blew away the clue. I was like, yeah, it's just gone. Like, we've got to talk to somebody about this. It's in my room the whole time. So.
And
how hard?
Props to you.
I spent an hour and a half in the room.
I was there for
Stop
that.
letting Nick.
She went with me. Found the first clue at the challenge, went out, found all the rest of them. It was the last one. Said it was in, landing. Was in the rain for an hour at landing. I called Nate. I'm like, it's not out here. Like, I've been looking in every pile of rocks. And he was like, wow, it looks much bigger than I remember. And I was like, what? And then I go to dinner. I get a call. I might have hit it wrong. And I go to Village, where it's supposed to be the biggest pole with the biggest pile of rocks next to the biggest water on campus. It was right there. Yeah. Good job, Nate.
Well, let's skip over Christian for 1 second. You two had a whole fake idol together.
Yep, then we got hit by a car.
Yeah, so do you want to tell the story of that? Because we didn't share that till now.
No, yeah, you got that.
Basically, Ben and I, we created 2 fake clues and a fake idol. We went to, what was it, Michael's?
Yeah.
We went to
Got the
Michael's, we
wood
bought
and
a wooden thing to make a fake idol, and then we looked and we saw the immunity necklace.
Yeah.
It was the exact same piece of wood, and we're like, holy shit, this is amazing. We made everything, we had everything set in stone, ready to go, ready to plant a fake clue at the challenge, and then we got T-boned at an intersection, and I don't remember.
Right past it. Oh my god! I was like, wait.
Yeah. And then I don't remember if we lost one part
Somebody
of the clue.
took the first
oh
clue
yeah,
that
we
we already
hid
had.
one
Yeah.
clue under the staircase going up the Muya. That was part of it.
Yeah.
And I guess someone just took it. Just some random person.
Maybe it was Ben.
Some
just
random
mess with
person
it,
just took it. We were gonna remake it, but then by that time, the first challenge had already went by. Christian was very open about the fact that he found that idol, so we're like, okay, well, this just isn't gonna work at this point.
Nobody would have believed it about that.
Christian, you had one of the most interesting games. You were open about every single thing you were doing until you got to Sarah.
Yeah, with Sarah, what do you mean by
Well,
that?
I mean, it was kind of secretive at the tribal council.
Yeah,
But
of course.
before then, you would openly say who the target was. And about your idols, you literally wore it and said, you're not going to vote me out this tribal council. And they thought you were bluffing. You weren't. What was your strategy for this game?
Well, yeah, I think it was definitely, I got more, I would say, dominant, as soon as I got to the point where I knew I had, the advantages, I got, for those first few weeks when I was with the Braun tribe, I think that it was definitely, I was still trying to figure out alliances and all that. I was with Davis and Emma, and then we made our way to the second part of it where it was now 2 tribes. And then pretty much just being open would give everyone because there was probably a lot of overthinking that all of us did.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to put my statement out there, nice and clear, that especially with that was one of my favorite tribals was when I had the idol. Yeah, of course.
I actually loved how I did kind of hate on it when I was on the jury, but I loved how no one had a bad thing to say about you. No one had anything bad to say at all. So I really want to prop you for that. If you would have made it to final 2, you would have had my vote automatically. I'm letting you know that now.
Yeah, let's do a little poll here. So for the jury members, Victor, I'm going to include you. Well, actually, let's swap because either of you were going to take each other, correct?
Yeah.
And then Ben was going home for sure if he didn't win immunity. So raise your hand if you would have voted for Christian over Victor. So Christian, you would have won the game. Any regret with that puzzle? Do you wish you practiced puzzles more?
I don't even know how I would practice that. That was literally just a piece of wood spray painted and then cut in weird directions. I don't even know how that was formed, but yeah, I guess you live and learn, and I think that's something that I would have done to prepare in advance. But I think that besides that challenge we had when it was just us four, I think I would say I at least gave it my all with the challenges and had a great time. It was very well set up, and I wouldn't be here without you. So I will say that.
Christian was my first draft, just so you guys know. I saw him in the gym. I was like, I gotta get that kid. Yeah. So back to then, I kind of was not begging, but I was like, Christian, you love this. What did you expect coming to this?
I don't know. I've never seen the show in my life, and I've seen like the name being thrown around, and I've watched Total Drama Island. So I think that I think it's really cool though. It's kind of like everyone has like a certain uniqueness to them. So that's one thing I really liked about it too. And but I knew I was gonna be doing challenges. I knew people were gonna get voted off. So it sucked, but also was great at the same time. Sucked meaning like those challenge, like almost every challenge where I'm like breathing super heavy from holding up. Yeah, avoiding throwing up at most challenges. But in the end, it was all part of the experience. It was great.
Well, Victor, let's talk about you. I'm gonna be real with you right now.
I know.
You were probably the worst challenge competitor in the whole series.
I know.
Your strategic plan, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what your strategic plan was. It was kind of just work with Christian and go with the numbers. But you almost won. How'd you get there?
In all honesty, my plan was to work with Ben and Christian 100% loyalty with them until Final Five. I was gonna swap and work with Ryland and Sarah. And then, unfortunately, my boy Ben just won every challenge from that point, and it made it impossible to flip on him. So that kind of, my game since week 1 was to work with Ben until like Final 5 or 6. Yeah. And then it didn't work out, but.
It did seem to me, though, that you were having a blast throughout the season.
Oh, it was so much fun. This was amazing.
My favorite tribal was when we had Robot Victor, and he had flown to Las Vegas, and he tuned in via iPad, and he was going crazy.
I was on my 4th glass of champagne at that point. And that's why when Sarah was calling me so many times beforehand, I was just like in a bathtub sipping champagne. And I was just like, I can't fucking do this right now, Sarah. You're getting voted out. It is what it is. And then I didn't know what to say. You called me 4 times. No, I did not. Okay.
Well, Ben, you won the damn season. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna tell everyone what happened. So after the very first tribal council, Ashley and I were like, Ben, you win the game. The vice president, Ashley. We saw how Ben manipulated the whole Brain Tribe, and somehow he was able to do it the entire game. I don't understand. It was.
I can't give away my secrets.
I saw him at the interest meeting, and I was like, I know this guy's gonna be good. I just saw him, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna win. You're welcome.
To be fair, Ben, I think
Ben was very smooth with his words. I really trusted him. I remember one time he said to me, he was like, "I'm really excited to work with you in the future," and I was like, "Man, this guy's a good teammate," but I guess I was too easily manipulated. I thought he was just nice, like he was just really wanting to work together. But looking back, he definitely did not want to work together.
Well, him and Victor had an alliance since the beginning. Ultimately, he says that Bryn was his number 1, but Bryn's sitting there. Victor, you're sitting there. How are your relationships with your competitors, I guess? Is there any bad blood between anybody? Victor, what about you?
I fucking hate this guy. No, there's no bad blood. I knew that, like earlier when you guys were talking about the fact that you guys were close, I knew that for the Crawford vote out, when I came to you, you already knew what I was saying. You were tipped off ahead of time. I figured that out about 10 minutes into our conversation, and I was like, fuck, oh my God. Because I completely trusted Ben, and I wholeheartedly thought that I was his number 1 as well. And then as soon as I spoke with you, I was like, holy shit, what am I gonna do? And I tried to save Crawford by letting him know what was happening. And unfortunately, Crawford ended up, went straight to you, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, I feel ultimately, I mean, Ben was my number 1 for a lot of the game. I just knew I wasn't gonna, if I was sitting there next to him, I wasn't gonna win. So I just always had that in the back of my mind. no like bad blood or anything.
No, not at all.
Ben, are there any other secrets you'd like to unveil that you did throughout the season?
I mean, I kind of want to leave some of it up to the show, like as you watch maybe. There was a lot that I wanted to talk about, especially when it comes to like, there were some cool moves that I felt like I was able to pull off behind the scenes when it comes to getting votes moved around and convincing people to just like chill and go with the vote, and then like they got voted off. It's like, oh no, that's crazy. And I kind of want to let it just be revealed with the show. It was hard to explain it all in a final tribal in such short chunks, but hopefully in a longer format, it'll be fun to watch.
For sure. Well, I think that's all my questions. I think we have a little bit of time for some audience questions. If anyone has a question in the audience, you're more than welcome to ask. Now would be the time to do so. Anybody want to? Here, let's give him the microphone. Ashley, do you want to run this out? Vice President Ashley, everyone. Couldn't have done it without her and the board, so if you're on the board, thank you. Let's ask Nate a question.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Nick.
Oh, okay.
Can we get Ryan Donahue on next season, please?
Potentially.
People want it.
We'll see about it, Brian. We'll see about it.
I have a question for Crawford. What?
Here, can you hand him the microphone?
Who's asking this question?
Gabby.
Is that Gabby?
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. What was your mental breakdown when you were finding out what was going on before you got voted off?
I had no idea what was going on. Here, let me sit back down. Basically, Victor calls me. I have my chem lab at 6:30 right before when tribal was supposed to be. And so I'm like getting ready to go to my chem lab. And if you are like a STEM person and you have a chem lab, or any sort of other lab, you know you cannot be late to the lab because it's a big deal if you're late. And so I'm like rushing, getting ready, and Victor, it's like 6:10. And I'm like about to walk out the door to go to my chem lab. And Victor calls me and he's like, Crawford, Ben is gonna vote you out. Ben is voting for you. And I'm like, what? Because week one.
How could you, Ben?
Okay. Week one, he was not here. Yep. And so our original plan was to vote him out week one because he wasn't there. And we felt like, oh, okay, you're just not going to show up to the first challenge. But then when he gets there, I see him, he's wearing like a tank top or something.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, very on purpose to show off that like he's got some musculature, So I'm thinking, a little tone there. And so I'm like, he might be more useful than say Katie or Maggie. Sorry to Katie, but that's just how it is. And so I'm like, wait. And so it was me, Victor, and Ben sitting in Pelican Market, just the three of us. Mm-hmm. And I look at Ben and I say, listen, I want to keep you over Maggie or Katie. Mm-hmm. And I saved his ass week one at Tribal.
He won because of you, Crawford.
I know. Looking back, I wish we had voted him out for week one. I wish we had voted him out week one, because I would be up there, I think I would.
I don't doubt it.
I think I would be up there, if Ben, didn't turn on me and stab. But the vote was unanimous, so apparently everybody was scheming against me. Bryn.
She didn't want to.
Bryn, I sat in your room right after I got out of my chem lab. I went to her room and we sat and talked about the vote for an hour or more, and the whole time she was lying through her teeth. Listen, what do you have to say for yourself?
I do have to say that week was probably the craziest week for me. Crawford was in my room freaking out. Ben and Victor were on the phone with each other, so it was like all four of us together. And meanwhile, it's like I'm trying to keep in what I'm not supposed to know from Victor to save Ben's, but it was so chaotic, and I ultimately really didn't want to vote you out.
I pushed
right
her
before.
To vote you out, genuinely, she was trying to defend you. Also, honestly, I don't think Victor wanted to vote you out either. I pushed them both too.
I was trying.
Blame me, don't blame them.
I was trying. I really wanted you to. That's why I told you. I was like, you gotta convince Brenda to vote for you.
Because you were like, Katie has an idol, and I was like, No, she doesn't.
I know. News to Katie.
I will just say, here, can I have are you still talking? I will just say, Victor, if you had not called me literally as I was walking out the door to my chem lab, I may have had time to like sit and actually like understand what you were saying. Yeah. It's just really unfortunate that
I did not know until
my chem
30
lab.
seconds before I called you. I walked out of Bryn's room and I called you like immediately.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
All right. Well, moving on. Anybody else in the audience have a question?
I have a question.
Christian, film director, he's going to edit your show, so be nice.
I'm really excited. One of my favorite players, or I think one of the players that I had high hopes for was Grayson. And I think one of the reasons why was, I know you and Sarah Cable had a little dispute, but I don't really think you talked much about the text message you sent to Sarah
Yeah,
Cable.
I don't think there's any need to talk about it though, because I mean that was between Sarah and I. Yeah, I made some mistakes, but it unfortunately got out to everyone up here and everyone out there too. But I was upset, rightfully so, I feel like, but not rightfully so enough to. That's not a phrase, but to send that text. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful. No hate towards her now. She's an awesome person. I mean, that lunch that I had with her and Tristan, like the week I got voted out, that was like one of the funnest times I've had in my life. They're both hilarious. Like they're hilarious.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, no, that was a huge mistake. Wish I could take it back, but
I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. I thought it was super funny. But
all right,
I wanted to bring it back to Sarah Cable. What was your reaction reading that message?
I was just like, oh, sorry. At first, I really didn't bug me. I kind of thought he was joking, but then I heard that he was telling other people about it outside, and I heard from maybe perhaps Tristan that he had said that I was a sociopath or something like that because I could lie so well, and I was like, dang, like, that's crazy. Tristan came home one day and was like, yeah, Grayson thinks you're a sociopath, and I was like, okay.
All right. Well, I think that answers that question, Christian. Anybody else have a question? We got more questions.
I have a question for Bryn. It sounds like during a lot of the weeks and a lot of the votes, you kind of had a lot going on, like in your head and like relationally and like with the social game. And it sounds like it might have been like irritating at times. And I know you said you had no bad blood, and I'm not like putting words in your mouth, but how did you go about navigating like frustrations, and like were there frustrations like with Victor or Ben, or like what did that look like when you were kind of in those difficult positions having those conversations?
Honestly, like, it was all part of the game, like with talking and throwing people's names out. Like, that's what you gotta do, think ahead. A lot of times a bunch of craziness happened from Victor, and me and Ben would talk about it like ourselves with like frustrations with him, and it's like that's just what happened. I don't know more to say about that. It's just like it caused chaos like every single week we went to tribal, especially within the Brains tribe, and especially that week that Crawford went home. But yeah, ultimately, like, then at week, like, me and Ben had thrown out Victor's name at one point. We were like, what if we just need to, like, stop this? But we did decide to keep him around, and yeah.
Well, I think we have time for maybe one more question.
Yasmin, I think it's fair to say that you have a pretty big personality. Do you think that might have contributed to why some people wanted you gone?
Vague? You said big or vague?
Big.
Oh, I was like, not vague. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I had a pretty strong case in the first couple challenges. And I don't know. I feel like it could have gone either way. Yeah, I put myself out there. I tried to tone it down. I will say I tried to tone down my personality at the beginning. Couldn't do it. You can't put babe in a corner, so.
I definitely don't think it was your personality, like, at all. I thought you were a great person, and just, it was more just like a strategic game for me because, I mean, the whole game I was just like, what's going to make me go further? And I was like, you are a big threat. I think you're one of the strongest girls here. So it was just strategic. It was nothing personal. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. When the week after I saw you in the elevator, and I was like, oh God, I can't look at her. I was like, I'm so scared. She's mad at me. But there's no bad blood.
Good.
I was slightly exaggerating the bad blood. Yeah, I didn't take it personally, but I don't know. I was a little disappointed because I was excited to go forward with you. I took the microphone and I had something to say, and now it's not there. But no bad blood. Maybe let's get coffee after this. Go out for some fun. Yeah.
Well, it's been an incredible season. We had brains, we had brawn, we had beauty, and Ben won it all. Congratulations. If you or someone you know thinks they have what it takes to join the cast of Survivor UNCW 4, apply on our Instagram, Survivor UNCW, and make sure you tune in for season 4. I think it's time for us to go, and the tribe has spoken. Good night.